Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Mike, and today we're going to talk about what phone carrier is the best in 2023. Technically, it's October 2023 if you really want to know. So I'm making this so you can have the information easily accessible to know which phone carrier you should go with, right? This video is going to be not like my other Tech Tuesday videos. It's going to be different. It's going to be a lot more in detail and a lot more boring. But with that, I hope to shine a light on what phone carrier you should want and what you should get, and to save you money, right? To give you access. So a couple things before we start. So we're going to be looking at a few different carriers. Not all of them, because some just don't make sense to cover. But we're going to be looking at the big three, right? T-Mobile, Verizon, at&t. We're also going to be looking at some smaller ones, some prepaid, some postpaid. So we're going to be looking at price, hotspot, international, calling, all that stuff. But what we're not going to be looking at is coverage, because coverage from these different places, it differs from where you live. So I can't tell you that exactly. You're going to have to go to these websites and look at the coverage map and make sure that where you are and where you're going to be working and living and stuff, it applies to you. So I can't help you with the coverage. But what I can tell you is these companies use a lot of tricky little weird things, little asterisks and little ones and twos in there, right? So you have to look through the fine details, see what they're seeing. And it's really annoying, really maddening, because they just will say one thing and actually mean something else, or try to trick you to spending more money. So you got to check those things out. And the last tip I can really give you before you start looking at this journey, you need to go into your phone right now to the settings. If you're on Android or iPhone, it's there. You can go ahead and look at your data usage. How much data are you actually using, and how much data do you need? Now, almost every single place offers unlimited, but some can save you money if you're using very, very small amounts. Now, most of the time, and I've done the research already, you're gonna want unlimited no matter what, unless you're a very weird case that you're only using like less than 1 gig. There's nothing out there that's gonna save you money by getting less than unlimited. The last thing I want to say is I'm looking at this from a perspective from three different eyes, okay? So I'm coming into these companies as a new customer, no matter what, but I'm coming in with, hey, I'm bringing my own phone. I don't need to buy a new phone. I don't need to worry about that. What is the cost? Second one is, hey, I'm bringing a phone and using it as a trade-in because I want the new iPhone 15 Pro. Why that phone specifically? Well, a lot of promotions are going on right now. We're trading in an iPhone 14 Pro Max is my phone I'm using as my trade-in value, and then I'm getting the iPhone Pro standard. And then the last perspective I'm looking at is through someone that has no phone, or their phone just broke, and they're looking at maybe getting a different carrier. And so through that, you're not going to be able to trade it in because you have no phone to trade in, and you're not going to be able to bring a phone. So you're not going to get those promotions, and you're not going to get the trade-in promotions. You're going to have to pay for the phone outright, or maybe they have a deal going on somehow without a trade-in. So we're going to look at all of these different perspectives. We're going to be looking at a spreadsheet. It's going to be really boring, but hopefully the information that you want to see is in there and will help you get an idea of, am I overspending? Should I switch? The last couple things are, I'm going to be looking at the cheapest phone plan, maybe not even displayed on their website, but digging into it a little bit, the cheapest phone plan that they have and the most expensive phone plan. So you can see like a range. Also, I'm not including fees or taxes unless they say it's included in the price, because every state's different, every tax is different, so I'm not going to include those. And then finally, we're not looking at family plans. I'm looking at one person going into this, because family plans will go ahead and change the price on some of these. Like Verizon, it goes from like $90 down to $65. But the difference is, there's things that are cheaper than $65, right? So like, we need to look at a blank perspective of a single user to have a blank statement across the board of what we should do. Now let's get into it. Sorry for the super 6 minutes long intro.
All right, guys, we have a lot of data in front of us, and I actually just made a whole entire long video, but it's like 40 minutes, and I know you're not going to sit through that, and I definitely don't want to edit that, so we're going to make a really short version of it. I saved the Mike's Awards for the last, but I'm going to go ahead and go through them because I think that's the actual key to this video here. And so I'm going to go ahead and slide this over just so you guys can like take a screenshot real quick. And then go ahead and take another screenshot, okay? Now, with those two screenshots, you can go ahead and look through all this. Oh, I'm moving this stuff around. Didn't mean to do that. Now, with those two screenshots, you can go ahead and take a look at all of this data and break it down if you really want to. But I'm going to go ahead and point out some key stuff with my highlights and my awards. So I have the cheapest plan that I could find and the most expensive plan per these 7. I didn't go into the other ones like Metro by T-Mobile because I just don't see any benefit in going through those inferior carriers. And I say inferior because they provide less for more money, or the same for more money, or again, less and less. That they're just not as good as these 7. Realistically, Mint Mobile is not a great one, so I'm going to highlight that first. Mint Mobile, everybody tells me it's great. It's you have to pay before you actually use. You have to pay for multiple months at a time. So it's cheap if you look at it, but you got to pay for a lot, and you don't get that much. So let's go from the top to the bottom in highlights. So for Mike's Awards, we have best, not including the price. So if you're looking for the best phone plan you want, go with the Go 5G Next from T-Mobile. It's going to have the most range. It does cost a lot of money at $100, but you get a lot for that. So you get 100 gigs of data, which is the most non-cap data that we have here. You're also going to go ahead and get 50 gigs of 5G hotspot, which is pretty dang awesome. It's not too bad for the international service. And then again, you also get like Netflix basics, Apple TV, and a phone upgrade every year. So if you're looking for the best, that is the best. Go with that. Now, breaking it down just real quick on how this table works, we have the new customer with phone, new customer with trade-in, new customer with no phone. So this is how it's broken down. The only asterisk here is this Boost Infinite access plan, and we'll get to that in a second. Now, best for international. Not only do you get the highest hotspot with 60 gigs of hotspot space with Verizon Unlimited Ultimate plan, you also get 10 gigs of data in the international. So it's pretty great. I really like it. You don't have to pay for like calls or texts. It's pretty awesome. But with that, you're spending a lot of money. So $90 with your phone you're bringing, and if you want to go ahead and go with a trade-in, you get that for $90. And one little thing is right now they currently have a promotion that if you don't if you want a new iPhone 15, you have to go ahead and trade it in, or you have to pay full price. Now you can trade in any iPhone, any condition they say. So if it's a broken iPhone 3, go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? iPhone 4, and a key, if you can do this quick enough before the promotion dies, you can go ahead and get like an iPhone 4 for like $30 off eBay, and you'll be able to go ahead and trade that in if you get it in time. But Verizon, if you are bringing your own phone, they also give you a promotion to bring that price down to $75, which isn't that bad considering everything. But it is that bad considering most things, so we're going to go ahead and skip AT&T. The only real cool thing about this is that they offer 4K streaming for AT&T Unlimited Premium, and their cheapest prepaid plan, they have data rollover. Remember those days back with like minute rollovers and text rollovers? They still have that going on for data rollover because it's a 5 gigabyte data plan every month. Okay, going into Xfinity, the one thing that you got to know is that you have to have Xfinity or Comcast internet. Now, since they're basically a monopoly in the United States, that's probably not going to be too big of a concern for you. And they have a really cool, weird bundle that you can go ahead and get a number. You can actually, if you got this Xfinity Unlimited Premium plan for $65, you could also pick this in Xfinity by the gig plan, which only provides you 1 gig, but it gives you a number of unlimited texting and calls for $15, and then it drops this price from 65 to 50. So you basically just get another phone number for 15. So you have an extra phone line around, you can do it. But yeah, that's the biggest thing here. Mint Mobile, again, you have to pay by 3 months, 6 months, or a whole year to get a premium discount. That's why the price is a little wonky here. And they also provide a 7-day money back guarantee, which is cool. So you can use it for like a couple days. If you don't like it, you can go ahead and get your money back. Going down for the best for the average user, that's where I'm going to spend most of my time right here, is Visible. Visible is a Verizon-owned company. It runs off Verizon towers, and it's pretty dang snazzy. And so they don't cap your data, but they do something a little sketchy. So here, right, with, let's just say, T-Mobile or normal Verizon, right? If you go ahead and you use up to 60 gigs of data, then it slows you down. Technically, it's unlimited because you can keep using it, but it slows you down to like an unusable rate. Anyways, they don't slow you down to a data cap. They only slow you down if congestion in your area gets too high. They might slow you down, but they don't have a data cap, which is pretty cool, and that includes your hotspot, which is pretty snazzy. Another snazzy thing is their taxes and fees are included in the price, so it's going to cost you $25, just like it's going to cost me $25. Now, if you have no phone and you need to use a loan with them, you can do that. You can get it through a firm through their website. It's going to cost $28 for a 36-month loan, bringing your total price up to $53, which is, again, cheaper than any of these with a phone, right? Even T-Mobile Essentials, you can still get $53 with the new iPhone. Now, again, the prepaid gigabyte, you're gonna have to get $35 a month versus the $25 a month, and you only get 15 gigs, and it's all on the same network, that Verizon network. So it doesn't make too much sense to go that right with it. Visible is pretty awesome, except for they will slow you down at times, and it's not really like, hey, what's going on? You don't know what's going on. You're just going to be slowed down. Now, there is a caveat, and that is if you move up to their Visible Plus plan, which is only $35 a month. Again, the only comparable thing is this Boost Infinite, which we'll get into, the Mint Mobile Unlimited, which does cap you out at 40 and 10 gigs of hotspot. So like that's kind of cool, but again, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money for that. So $35 a month, you can get a loan for $28 a month, puts it up to $63 a month, right? So you're paying pretty high money at that point. But after 2 months of that's a 0% APR, so you're not paying too much money. Like you're paying what the phone costs. But if you go ahead and you pay for 2 months of it, then you can move that phone. Visible will unlock it, and you'll be able to push it over to something else. But you're not going to find a better deal, which is wild. Again, the cool thing about Visible Plus, though, is you get 50 gigs of premium data. And they say that because at that point, that first 50 gigs of data, you're a normal Verizon customer, right? You get like no slowdown for the first 50 gigs. And that's a lot of gigs. Most people aren't going to use that many. Remember, check your settings to see how much you use. Now, that being said, if you're in a city with Verizon's 5G ultra wideband, that 50 gigs doesn't matter. You will never be slowed down because they just have so much data to be able to push out. So if you're living in like a city like El Paso, New York City, something like not even significant. Again, El Paso only has 500,000 people in it. It's a big city, but it's not New York. It's not Chicago. A lot of these smaller cities are getting that 5G ultra band, which means for $35 a month, you get full unlimited, no cap. No cap, that's hilarious. But like, so that's why I say this is the best overall, because it's very cheap for $35 a month, and you get true unlimited data if you're in a big city. And if you're not, you still get really good data, 50 gigs of priority. And then again, you don't get slowed down unless it's congestion. So you can still get fast data afterwards. That is still unlimited for your hotspot. Fantastic. I don't know how Visible's doing it. Oh, wait, I do know. It's because everybody else charges a huge premium. And that is why we're making this video, so you don't get charged like crazy. Shit, this video is going up to 10 minutes now. So we're going to go through this last one real quick. Boost Infinite, Unlimited, and Infinite Access. Boost Infinite is a Dish Network brand. And it's the same people that brought you Boost Mobile, but this kind of gives you a little bit cheaper. So a couple quick caveats here. There is no, for the Boost Infinite Access, that is for iPhones basically only, okay? So this $50 trade-in, technically that's for their middle plan that I didn't put up here, but if you want to trade in, you can go ahead and trade in. And their big plans are their cheap plan, which is $25 a month. It caps at 30. The cell towers are complicated because they might put you on Verizon, they might put you on T-Mobile, depending on where you're at. That's not going to be the best, but you have to add on a lot of stuff. So it's $60 a month for their Infinite Access plan, and that's not bad. Is basically giving you a 36-month credit for your iPhone with no trade-in, iPhone 15 Pro, and you get 30 gigs of data cap. But if you use a hotspot, then you have to pay $10 extra. Their international service is included for their expensive plan. And they also offer you a boost protection, which is $13 a month, which gives you, it's not the $10 for their Apple Care, but Apple Care is included in the 13 boost protection, but it also protects a couple other things, which is pretty phenomenal for $3 more. So easiest for iPhone. Again, iPhone is all about easy. So if you're looking at something, it is a post pay company. You're going to have to get a credit check and go through all those steps, but it is the easiest for iPhone. You pay $60 a month, 70 if you want a hotspot, and that's it. That's really it. Plus that extra 13, so it's gonna be $83 a month if you really want to talk about it. But you can make that argument for any of these, right? If you want that Apple Care and you're getting the new phone through a loan through Visible Plus, that's now gonna be $73. So remember those hidden costs. But if you have a phone and you're just willing to switch over, Visible Plus, really going to be good for you. If you don't have good Verizon service near you, 25 for Boost Infinite Unlimited. You can bring over other phones. You're just not going to have hotspot, but you're going to have that for $25 a month. So if I'm going to recommend anything, it's going to be the Visible Plus, followed by the Visible, followed by maybe the Boost Infinite Unlimited plan. And if you're really into iPhones, and it's going to be the easiest for you, you don't have to think about it too much, $60 a month versus $63 a month on Visible Plus. Again, you don't have hotspot. If you don't use hotspot and you want something easy, go for the Boost Infinite Access plan. If you want the best plan out there, regardless of the price, go for the Go 5G Next. And if you are doing international stuff, go for the Verizon. But skip Mint, skip Xfinity, skip at&t. I'm sorry, they're just not good. Skip the cheap plans off Verizon and T-Mobile, not so great. If you are 55 years or older, go with T-Mobile. They actually give you a pretty heavy discount if you're 55 or older, so look into that. But it's not going to give you a discount like Visible Plus will at $35 a month. But you can go ahead and get like the Go 5G Next for like $70 a month, again with that added stuff. So if you're 55 or older, that T-Mobile might be the best look for you. But if you're not, go with the Visible Plus. And I hope this video was quick enough. It's definitely quicker than 40 minutes. So go ahead and read through all of this data if you really want to get into it. Love you guys. Check out other videos that are not this detail oriented. That's a little bit more fun. But love you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Peace out.